Hey, First Baptist Youth, I hope you're having a wonderful week. As you know, we are just a couple of weeks from Christmas. It seems like it's, at least to me, like it's really rushed up, and all of a sudden, Christmas is almost here. We're going to talk about joy. We've been talking about the different Sundays of Advent. Last week, was peace. This week, we're talking about joy. And I know we just talked about both of those things when we went through the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians. But we're going to talk about joy a little differently today and look at the joy in the Christmas story. So I'm going to pause for just a second, and I want you to think about the Christmas story. And I'm going to be reading out of Luke 1 today. So if you get a chance in these next couple of weeks, go read Luke 1 and 2. But I'm going to pause for a second. I want you just to think, and you can even shout it out to your TV or computer there. Who are some of the characters that show joy in the Christmas story? Well, let's take a look. Last Sunday in our Zoom Bible study, we talked about Zechariah and Elizabeth, who were told by the angel Gabriel that they were to have a child. That child would be John the Baptist. So Mary finds out that she is going to have a child. Of course, that would be the baby Jesus. And she goes to visit Elizabeth. So let's read this section, and I want you to listen for the joy in here. In those days, Mary set out and went with haste to a Judean town in the hill country, where she entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. When Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the child leapt in her womb. And Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit and exclaimed with a loud cry, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And why has this happened to me, that the mother of my Lord comes to me? For as soon as I heard the sound of your greeting, the child in my womb leapt for joy." So Elizabeth and Zechariah are joyous that they are having a baby. If you remember the story we talked about in Bible study last Sunday, they had been wanting to have a child and could not. And they are joyous that soon, as we would know him, John the Baptist will be their child. And then Mary and Joseph are joyed to find out they are having a child who will be the Son of God, right? Baby Jesus. But notice in the story, the child, John, who is still in the womb, has not been born yet, leaps for joy when Mary arrives, right? Even the baby John the Baptist is leaping for joy. And we have other characters that we could read about later in the story. The shepherds see the star and are joyous to go see the baby Jesus. Joy is all over this story. And as we talked about a couple weeks ago, sometimes it's easy to get focused on what's going on in our lives and challenging things and not be joyous. And God understands those challenges. I want you to know we're not pushing those aside, writing those off. God understands where we are and when we have tough times. But I want you this week to think about the joy in the Christmas story. These characters, these people in the story, they didn't have a lot of things. They didn't have a lot of money, but they were joyous, excited about Jesus' birth. And so I want you to think about that over the next couple weeks as we prepare to celebrate Christmas. The joy of God in this story. And if you can this week, try and do something that brings someone else joy. I'm so glad you could join me for this time. Please know that I care about you and am praying for you, and we'll see you next time.